And here we go, top left-hand corner, we have Dignitas SjoW spawning as the red Terran. Bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran, Evil Geniuses, DeMusliM. Now, SjoW was recently, or excuse me, SjoW was recently teamless, and then he resigned really quickly with Dignitas again. Glad to see him in the Dignitas family yet again. With Select, I do believe.
Yes.
And
Mers, another Terran player from Dignitas.
The guy is such a handsome baller.
Dude, Mers is really good. We're talking about Cloud is good looking. Mers is really good looking as well. But you know, we're talking about dashing young fellas. DeMusliM, the blue Terran, in the bottom right from Evil Geniuses, Benjamin Baker. I could sing lullabies and sonnets about this guy. But I didn't even pick him to win the series, so it just goes to show you that how charming a fella he is.
You're a terrible person. I love both these guys. DeMusliM has that classy accent to him, so you can't not root for him. That's why. It was really even in my head, but I was like, gotta go with the classy English accent. Whoa!
Ooh, excuse me. I don't even know what happened there.
Away from the mic. Away from the mic.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I was so taken aback by your comments there, Greetor. I totally apologize to everyone listening there. But, you know, this is TVT. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into the game. SjoW is going for a gas while DeMusliM is not. Now, SjoW is one of these Terran versus Terran players. I've been watching him a lot recently because, again, I picked him, so I'm like, I gotta definitely know a lot about his recent play. And he actually beat Hart, the guy who made a huge run through MLG Winter Championship. And he's been showing all kinds of play. In fact, he went all three different kinds of style here, Greetorp. He went bio play, opened up a lot of Marines and went for fast stim timing. He also went for mech, and he also went for just standard Marine tank. So he's capable of pulling all the stops. And at the same time, so is DeMusliM. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two players kind of react to each other's builds.
At this point, I think SjoW should just kind of match up, see what he's up against. DeMusliM is a player that can operate at a much, much higher rate just because of his APM. I should pull up the APM. You can see the difference. 110 average. This is EAPM, I should say. And then SjoW is only at 48. With that, you're able to outmaneuver your opponent. You're able to do a lot more actions. Theoretically, you're able to do a lot more actions. It doesn't always work like that, but using that knowledge, I think SjoW should do a more passive style. Now, what's a more passive style? Probably some sort of factory build. Go for the mass factories. Go for, you know, Hellions, Siege Tanks, Thors, Vikings, that kind of stuff, because you have one army and that's all you're dealing with. Don't try to spread yourself thin, because I think going for the Marine Marauder, that'll be tough against DeMusliM, who can operate at a faster rate with those smaller amounts of units.
Yep, so just like we said, we'll keep an eye out for that in the middle of the game. In the meantime, SjoW showing a Reaper. Now, of course, DeMusliM did manage to get good information. Saw basically the tech lab on the barracks. Now, he didn't see the command center. He just managed to miss that SCV, but with that Reaper, he should be able to suspect so accordingly. And as a result, looks like he is finally double gassing up after 2 quick barracks, so very standard play out of him. And so with the Reaper scout here, now, Greetorp, you're the TVT expert. How do you really react to this kind of play?
Well, as DeMusliM, I'm a little bit worried at this point because I don't have a bunker, but really you're just hoping that this Reaper does this. Bad Reaper, bad!
Yikes.
And now, I hate to say it, but DeMusliM is pretty far ahead. And that sounds crazy, right? That sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's just 50 minutes, 50 gas, right?
Yeah, but
no.
What happens is it's opportunity cost as well. The command center comes up a lot faster. You can see the Orbital Command Center is already done. That's an extra 180 minerals per minute that you get for that mule. On top of that, you just have more SEVs to work with, and you can transition a lot easier. Now, the one thing that SjoW has is the upgrade. The combat shield and the stim should be finished before his opponent ever can do it, but still, I mean, SjoW not in a great position, losing his only sight in the map.
Yep, so as a result, DeMusliM has that position. Now, he also has that combat shield way more delayed than SjoW does. This is about to actually finish, and that's actually going to come into play here as it finishes just as DeMusliM gets to the top of the ramp. So DeMusliM does have to retreat for now, but of course, that also does tell him where his gas is being spent. So pretty good information for DeMusliM, and he's able to get an early engineering bay. Now, he's actually a big proponent of getting +1 extremely quickly, especially if you go for that Marine style. And because SjoW spent that 100 extra gas in that, and he's actually going for a starport as well, now DeMusliM will have that upgrade advantage going into the mid game.
Yeah, I like where DeMusliM chose to actually utilize his advantage. It is with this +1, he will have a pretty large timing, whereas he has +1 and his opponent does not. Not only that, once he gets out the starport tech, he will be, negating any advantage, I think, that SjoW has. So at this point, DeMusliM just has to wait for that +1, then exert his advantage. If he does it before or waits too long, then what he's doing is wasting it. Basically, it's negating and it's evening up the game. That's not a position that you want to be. So we'll see how DeMusliM actually goes about his advantage. It's going to come down to scouting and whether or not he sees that he's capable of doing that.
Yeah, this is actually the same build he used against Hart in game number 2 that I was watching earlier today. SjoW actually goes for really fast medevacs because he wants to start dropping his opponent really fast. But of course, he doesn't have that much information on DeMusliM just yet because DeMusliM's been the one perusing the map. He's the one controlling a lot of sight, and as a result, SjoW doesn't actually have too much awareness other than the fact that he saw a bunch of Marines. But he does have his first medevac queued out here, and he is transitioning to stim and getting, again, a very delayed +1. But over here, we see DeMusliM actually should be prepared. He's getting up turrets in places and just getting prepared. So overall, hopefully, he should be prepared for it because his turret's actually in the corner of his base in anticipation of a drop.
Not only that, you can see Armory and Engineering Bay going down, so he is continuing on with his upgrades. A really nice way to continue your advantage. So now instead of having his advantage here, he has the same advantage at +2 attack. It's really, really cool to do. What the opportunity cost is going to be a third base, but here we go. The drop is coming in here.
That turret placement is so sick. I mean, look at it. He's going to be able to do so much damage before these Marines even finish unloading. It's so close. Oh, man. The Marines actually are now trapped. And they're only going to do what they can do, which is stim in here. Except stim isn't just finished, actually, so now he's going to be able to stim. Kills off some SCVs. We'll actually see how much damage was done. 7 SCVs killed, but he lost his medevac pretty early, and that's the first medevac that popped out.
Yeah.
A pretty important opportunity cost.
That sucks. That sucks, because now the medevac count is going to even out a little bit. He's going to be slightly behind. DeMusliM's going to be slightly behind. Now, SjoW, what is he going to do? Losing that medevac and the Marines in there actually does a lot more than you would think. It keeps DeMusliM back. It says, I have a medevac, you don't. Be careful for these drops. Once I lose that drop, now I don't have to worry. I can go exert my advantage and take control of the map. You can see that this third now is very vulnerable, and it forces SjoW to make a planetary fortress.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool observation. And as a result, SjoW is naturally playing a little bit more defensive right now because he knows DeMusliM is moving out here.
Uh-oh.
I mean, at this point, is SjoW going to be in position to defend it, or will DeMusliM even go for it? He does scan and get a good sense of what SjoW's army is like, but we're about to see a pretty big engagement. DeMusliM really confident. His +1 armor is now finished. He's going to engage here. The stim does go off, but DeMusliM, he does have more Marines, and it looks like SjoW is going to be forced to pull some SCVs. And right now, DeMusliM, man, killing a lot of workers as +1 armor was about to finish. I feel like DeMusliM should have waited just a couple seconds there, as that would have been much more in his favor, but still a pretty good engagement as he managed to kill off 10 workers and take the SCV count.
It's very minor, though. You can see 51 to 51 at this point. Now that SjoW has more mineral patches to actually mine from, so it gives him the ability to have the economic advantage. Unfortunately, I don't see any mules down. 1 mule down. So that's actually hurting SjoW quite a bit. As soon as he puts those mules down, he'll be fine, but a drop in the top right-hand position will be heading for that that top right-hand base, and it looks like DeMusliM's just going to camp out this one tower.
Oh, so it looks like he's going to drop a third here, which is really good, and again, just trying to pressure SjoW and just not even allowing him to mine. I love the fact that he's just keeping it there as a way to harass SjoW indirectly, just not letting him mine there, while DeMusliM, of course, he's trying to get up his third, floating his orbital there. As a result, DeMusliM, the drop looks like it will finally get cleaned up. Some SCVs are still being targeted down there, so DeMusliM doing a very good job controlling the map, and I love just his presence on the map despite not having a huge overwhelming advantage.
Look at the supplies at this point, 113 to 113. These two players are really close together. DeMusliM, though, has that 2-1. Look at that 3-2 on the way, and wow, just now the +2 is being researched for SjoW. So DeMusliM has a gigantic advantage with these timings. Let's see how long that timing is. 170 seconds. So he has 170 seconds to take advantage of his upgrade advantage. That is the largest window ever. Let's see what he does with it.
Yeah, so right now DeMusliM is still moving across the map here. Now he does have some good medevacs, and again, he's got control of the watchtower, so he can really capitalize on it. Love the small positioning here from SjoW to see if there's any drops coming, but he does have tanks. Now, tanks could play a huge factor here depending on where DeMusliM chooses to engage it, but the tanks are not going to be sieged in time, and DeMusliM looks like he has the position for now, but no, the tanks do end up getting a couple good shots, and DeMusliM is losing a lot of supply, but may just have too many Marines, or will he? The medevacs are blocking a lot of my view. I can't actually see what's going on Green Torp, as SjoW is pushing back the medevacs. So a great job there from SjoW to push back, but it was very risky because his tanks were not in good position.
Those tanks, though, helped him out so much. That was the only thing that can get him back into that. Positional play for SjoW is the only way he'll be able to compete with those super upgraded Marines. Now you can see that the +2 armor is now started, but the +2 armor for DeMusliM has just finished. So again, another pretty big time where DeMusliM can go and start utilizing his advantage. And here we go again. A drop is actually geared up, but oh no, the siege tanks are on siege. One-shotting the siege tanks, two-shotting there, and there's just not enough Marines. Oh no, the siege tanks were the only thing keeping him alive, and down goes all three of them.
Oh, DeMusliM picking a perfect time to strike and being able to recognize his opponent's weakness. Now DeMusliM has a lot of ability. He can afford to send a medevac and still have a strong army, being able to take on the army of SjoW. And so he's going to be able to elevate her up here. Now SjoW has to kind of split off his army, or will he send his entire army here? Yes, DeMuslim's going to do that. A tank's out of position yet again. Unsieged, not able to really do any damage whatsoever. And SjoW's also got less medevacs, and that +3 isn't even finished, but DeMusliM doesn't need it because SjoW is losing a lot.
And that looks like it's it. The upgrade advantage is so severe. There it is, +2 finishes finally for SjoW. He's able to clear out some of these Marines, but the Marines at the back are doing so much damage. +3 just about to kick in for DeMusliM, and once that kicks off, that'll be the nail in the coffin.
DeMusliM just wrecked a huge amount of SCVs as well in the main. 42 murders are killed. And I mean, SjoW's going to lose his natural orbital. He's going to also lose a lot of just important time of mining, because at this point, DeMusliM is just at the point where SjoW can't even really produce out of a lot of stuff because he's constantly being pressured. I mean, look at his third has factories, but he can't really utilize them whatsoever because DeMusliM is just controlling the entire map.
Yeah, such a shame for SjoW. If he just kept everything together, he was trying to get back into the game because he knew he was behind, utilize that drop, and maybe, you know, catch a couple of DeMusliM teams out of position. But no, DeMusliM was able to catch him out of position, and we have him taking a gigantic revenge. See, he's just move commanding. He don't care about it. GG comes out, and SjoW will fall for game number 1.
That was a fantastic job there from DeMusliM. And we were talking about how he really likes that early +1. And that's just his tendency, and just able to get that upgraded advantage going to the mid-game, riding it all the way to have +2 and even +3, a full cycle ahead of his opponent.
We do want to thank GameMinder, the sponsor that makes this possible. Big shout out to them. Go check them out. A very easy way to check them out is go over to NASL.tv. We have everything on there. Also, I do want to mention that these games are being casted from replay. Again, we're trying to be as flexible as possible with the players. We want them to be playing at their best possible time. Of course, DeMusliM being the European player, it's kind of tough to do it live, but hopefully we'll get him in the studio once live.
Wait, I mean, is DeMusliM still at the EG house? I thought he was still at the EG house.
He's
okay, he went back to
Europa.
Oh, he went. Okay,
I think.
I wasn't sure because I saw him cast the Masters Cup the other day.
It might be pre-record. I'm not sure.
I mean, depends.
I don't want to say.
He's a mysterious man. In fact, I'm pretty sure DeMusliM is also. But
the games
agent.
The games were played today. They were played 24 hours.
Absolutely.
So,
thank you so much to everyone watching. This is NASL Season 3, Week 1, Division number 2. And game number 2 will be coming back between SjoW and DeMusliM in just a minute. Alright, so the game is ready. Let's jump straight into it. Pants on. And here we go. SjoW is our red Terran here in the top right half of the map on dual site from Dignitas. His opponent, DeMusliM, the blue Terran from Team Evil Geniuses, up 1-0. Only has to win one more, but again, this is SjoW's choice. Now, I've been watching a lot of TVT, specifically on this map because GSL still runs dual site. And I've been seeing a lot of interesting one-based timings. based off Ravens, as Live actually introduced it to GSO. A lot of people have been doing it. We've been seeing it in the EG's Masters Cup. We've been seeing it through IPL. I'm wondering, you know, what SjoW's plan is, especially if we're talking about mobility, but is a one-base timing still good on this map here, Greetorb?
I do think so. The open natural gives a lot of leeway for different sort of one bases. I think the Raven has, this is going to sound crazy, but the Raven has one of the most highest skill capped is one of the most highest skill capped units in the game. And I mean, auto turret positioning, when to use auto turrets, when to save energy for PDDs. Hunter-Seeker missiles, of course, are getting a little bit more popular at that endgame stage. There's a lot of utility with those Ravens, and I think we're going to be seeing that a lot more in all the matchups. Maybe not TVP as much, but TVT, TVZ for sure.
I think High Templars are the high skill cap in my opinion.
No.
Just because controlling them, they're slow. The slower the unit is, the harder it is to control. Ravens are pretty fast, man. What's the movement
Okay,
speed
ready?
of Ravens?
I'll tell you what High Templars are. T, left click, C. There you go. Oh, or I'm sorry, T, left click, T, left click,
okay,
C.
specifically High Templars against Ghosts. I think it's really cool.
Press F, bro.
Press
Press F.
Press F and click the mini map.
Spread and press F. It's easy. Just tell them to
No
go
bias,
patrol
right?
everywhere.
No
and
bias.
No, it's the easiest thing.
High Templars. I think Colossus.
See, EMPs are skill shots, man. Those things are the.
Oh my god.
EMPs are so hard to get. They need an extra 1 added to the radius. That would be awesome.
Oh my
or extra
god,
2.
Not now. Actually, guys, keep in mind if you want to give any feedback, especially because we talk a lot about balance here as a joke, but we actually have a balanced discussion question on our Facebook page, just to remind some people, because you know they're not actually here throughout the show. At the beginning, we talked about trending topics, so go to facebook.com/FrodanTV. It's not a self-plug. They made me do it, I swear, but you can vote right now on a couple cool polls. And Greetorb, enough about that.
They actually made me say, go to facebook.com/.
I feel so silly whenever I plug that, man, because I never had a Facebook page until.
It's
right
okay.
now,
Hold
so.
on. Let me plug myself now. Twitter.com/Greetorb, Twitch.tv/Greetorb.tv,
MySpace.com/Greetorb.
Oh no!
Zanga.com/Greetorb.
They told me to do that. So
LiveJournal.com/Greetorb. We've ignored this game for so long. It's 4.5 minutes a game. Look, we're talking about one base push as being very viable. Both players are checking out the Starcraft on one base, and we see for the most part SjoW is a little bit ahead, but that's because he grabbed his geysers a little bit later, and as a result, SjoW, I mean, based off what you see right now, looks like he is getting a Marine and Hellion saving a lot of gas up right now.
yeah, the gas first enables DeMusliM to get a much faster Banshee out, so he will be able to do a lot of damage. The question is, what does he do directly after this Banshee? He's been in the dark for most of this game. Let's go ahead and look at DeMusliM. He doesn't know anything. So if he chooses to go a Viking or a Raven, that'll be very advantageous for DeMusliM, of course. I highly doubt that he's going to do that, unfortunately, but you know, anything can happen. This Cloak Banshee for SjoW can potentially do a lot of damage. It's just going to come down to how well can these players micro their units.
Yep, so it'll come down to execution, but at the same time, for now, we do see Mario Kart being reenacted here in the middle of the map. And they did try to enable the Fire Flower. Actually, that wasn't even a real power on Mario Kart, was it? It was bananas. It was the star. It was... I hate the lightning bolt, dude, because then it would make me really small and I get like all flat.
Well, if you played competitive Mario Kart, you wouldn't have to worry about that unless you were like...
I speedrun Mario Kart. How about that, man?
You don't speedrun it.
That's
I
competitive
speedrun
now.
it.
We do see the Raven actually being the first unit of choice out of the starport here from DeMusliM. Wait, what is your opinion on that?
So he is getting the Raven. I love it, man. That's awesome. I think he read, okay, my opponent isn't getting a fast expansion or I don't see it. Let me just prepare.
Oh, I apologize, actually. That's the second unit. The first unit was the Banshee that's actually out to the top right.
You're not listening to me.
I completely apologize.
No,
we're getting actually so sidetracked in this game. But DeMusliM is moving out here, and SjoW's not prepared really. He doesn't have any turrets up just yet. It's about halfway done here, and of course he does get some good information. Attacking the tech lab. But not a real consequence. He's not really willing to attack the tech lab. He just needs to attack some Marines here.
All right, Cloak is underway at this point, and SjoW is getting ready. He has it, and oh god! No!
Oh, wow. That was not what SjoW planned whatsoever. In fact, DeMusliM is completely ahead at this point. He's got his Viking out also at the same, or about to come out, and he's basically being rewarded. He's basically checking SjoW all over the place and being able to take advantage. Look at his Banshees are cutting very nicely, utilizing the building placement as well to really make sure those Marines can't get a surround on that Banshee. And as a result, he's whittling down the Marine numbers to be very well.
Round 2 coming out for SjoW. He's trying to do a little bit of grass over here, but no, get the heck out of there, SjoW. Your Banshee is not looking good. In the meantime, DeMusliM, he's smashing face over here, just being annoying. That thorn in the side of your hip, if you are a fatty, it's really, really just brutal, man. You're thinking of like the love handles and you take a thorn and just jab into it. I don't have that problem. Because
Banshee does get picked off here, as we do see that SjoW, he doesn't have that many Marines. In fact, he was getting dangerously low. He only had 8, but at the same time, DeMusliM during this whole time has been just massing up units peacefully at home. If we look, DeMusliM has 16 to 10 Marines, and he's got pretty much everything else even, as well as an addition of that Raven. So DeMusliM, he's moving out here, and he's pretty confident because he did pick off a significant amount of units with that Banshee.
And there goes the command center. SjoW is supply capped at this point. Where are those supply depots? They're coming. But does he have siege mode out yet? No, he does not. It's 30 seconds away, excuse me. DeMusliM doesn't have siege tank either, or siege mode either. So there might be a little bit of problems here, but you're going to see the power of this Raven do a lot.
Well, siege mode might finish by the time he gets there. Or will it? DeMusliM's picking a perfect time. Is he going to place the turret down? The SCVs are being pulled as well. Now SjoW, he doesn't have that much army. The siege mode's still not finishing. Will he be able to get in time? It doesn't look like he will be. SjoW is getting cornered, and when he's trying to kite with his tanks, that is never a good sign, as he is forced to cancel the command center, as SjoW is forced up his range. DeMusliM takes a significant lead.
Pew pew. And a couple of Marines do die right there, so a nice little shot by SjoW, but still he's so far behind. Let's go ahead and look at what happened. 18 SCVs to 33, a gigantic advantage for DeMusliM. And you can see in the back of his base, he's making the command center now. He has the expansion lead on his opponent. Not only that, there's just a gigantic position advantage for DeMusliM. Camping out here, just stopping anything from going down. How does SjoW actually get out of this container?
Well, he's going to try to send the Banshee back to the main of DeMusliM. He's picking off a couple SCVs, including the one building command center, but DeMusliM can't be really saving up energy during this whole time, realizing that SjoW might be up to that, and he's going to try to see if he can push it back. And, you know, SjoW doesn't even have that much energy on the Banshee either, so he couldn't even keep up the harass that long. As right now, SjoW trying to see if he can turtle off here, but DeMusliM, his intention to expand was revealed, so SjoW knows that inevitably he's going to fall really far behind if he lets that happen.
What I love about DeMusliM is the positioning of these siege tanks.
Yes.
They're not in position to actually be sniped by any of the high ground. So you can't put a siege tank down and just say, okay, well, I can slowly start encroaching on my own position. You need to find some other way of getting around this. Look at this, a very slow elevator drop is going to go down here. Will DeMusliM be able to identify this in time? Well, you know, technically SjoW doesn't even have to go and attack this army. He can actually say, okay, I'm going to contain out here myself, put up some siege tanks, and then go for the counterattack.
Well, I mean, at this point, he's trying to find some way to break this contain from DeMusliM, and DeMuslim's just got a lot of Marines and tanks, but actually nothing compared to the amount of tanks that SjoW. And he scans and he moves up here. There's not much defending. He's going to drop another turret. I love that turret placement as well. It zones off and sets up for the concave really well. SjoW's out of position. In fact, he is trying to see if he can go from behind, although he's using a lot of his SCVs to fight as well. And DeMusliM looks like he will get cleaned up here, but SjoW, a lot of SCVs. He's down to 6. Which is not a lot compared to 34.
No, and I would say Mules would be able to keep him up, but he only has one command center. He's got 2 command centers, then he's mining around 3,000 minerals per minute, so it's okay from there. Right now, all DeMusliM has to do is defend, and he wins.
Yes.
So set up your your defense. Start sieging up, get your Marines into position, don't do anything too crazy. This one Banshee, oh no! He's actually trying to, okay, he's trying to meet up with all of his units. I'll take that, but still, just chill out, DeMusliM, make sure you don't die, siege up, and you're good to go.
Yes, and DeMusliM, of course, he still hasn't used a single mule. He's been saving it for scans just in case. I love it. DeMusliM playing very comprehensive. Of course, that Raven Keep Alive was very clutch as well. It almost is dead, but at the same time, he does have the availability to detect. And looks like he does end up taking a really good position here, and he is repairing his Raven. DeMusliM playing very well, and Stim's about to finish another critical upgrade.
So how does SjoW actually start to advance on that? I think, is he actually going to pull back? I think that would probably be the worst. He might actually go for the main over here, start elevatoring yet again. It's the last thing he probably wants to do.
With what metavacs? He has none.
Nope,
So
he has none.
He's going to try to see if he can hit the production line, actually. Wow. DeMusliM's SimCity here, not really a SimCity at all. It's going to lose his add-ons very, very quickly. Now, how does DeMusliM react? In fact, he's loading up a medevac to send to SjoW's base because he knows that SjoW doesn't actually have that much. He may even hook around and see if he can drop his Marines for a flank. That's also a really big possibility. But for now...
Oh, he's going to skewer. He's going to drop them one by one.
Oh, yeah, looks like he's going to end up going for that flank. He's going to drop straight onto it, but
that's not good.
That wasn't actually a very good time. But DeMusliM has so much units here. He's going to try to see if he can bust them, or will he? DeMusliM actually attack into tank lines and losing almost all of his Marines despite having a stim finish. That was very sloppy play from DeMusliM, but at the same time, SjoW can't push up either. No. So a little bit of miscontrol from both players, but at the same time, I mean, DeMusliM ended up holding, so he got what he wanted.
Exactly, and you can see DeMusliM could have held a little bit better. He was trying to get rid of that whole push because it was doing immense damage on this top over here. But, you know, he still holds, and he's way ahead with 2 command centers, 2 orbital command centers, I should say. I don't really feel like SjoW has a lot of options from here. As long as DeMusliM defends this top now, he will be in a good position to take the win and just play the war of attrition.
Yep, so, you know, I mean, the most important thing is SjoW kept the tanks alive. That was a really big thing for SjoW. And so that was a really good job by him. But at the same time, DeMusliM, oh, he has to worry about the tank drop here into his main. Now, SjoW does have a medevac finally, and he's starting to do a huge elevator play. Will DeMusliM be able to get back to defend in time? Or will he just let this happen? As right now, DeMusliM, his production line is under siege, as a lot of his tanks are still just at his main.
See, the siege by SjoW is pretty good, but you have to realize he needs to be super cost efficient at this point because he's still on 1 base against 2 bases, and SjoW is actually drying up pretty fast. Let's look back. He only has 4 mineral patches. They're gonna dry up really, really fast, so he has to do a lot of work here. I don't even know if this is enough. You can see the supplies are 81 to 52. SjoW still needs to catch up quite a bit.
I mean, at the same time, though, the army supply isn't that far off because a lot of supply difference is actually in workers here. And it looks like he's going to drop onto one of the tanks that DeMusliM isn't necessarily protecting. His SCV's rush, and a great pickup, and SjoW is going to try to see if he can escape the stim from the Marines, try to see if he can pick off the medevac. But the medevac does end up escaping. DeMusliM's actually supply blocked right now at a very, very bad time.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check if the units have 18 to 19. Actually, big stim up here. Oh my god, get rolled with that medevac.
Oh, wow, that was extremely close. 20 HP here from SjoW's medevac, and SjoW actually has another medevac actually chilling right in the middle of the base for sight purposes. Dual Vikings, though, and that's a very good play here from DeMusliM. Oh, wow, picking off one of the medevacs. If you could pick off the second one, it'd be huge. He scans. He wants to pick it off because it would shut down a lot of SjoW's options here. As SjoW, again, he's mining out, but he's still not going to move that orbital command just yet. Only wants to move it when he absolutely needs to.
Counter drop going in the top left-hand corner. He's going out with 2 medevacs. This is what DeMusliM needs to do a long time ago. Cut the supply. If you can put pressure on the map, it forces all these reinforcements to stay back and defend the whole time, or even just stay in the middle of the map. But here we go. A workaround right now. SjoW is going for the natural. It is well defended, but there's a slight opening over here where Seachanks can go, and DeMusliM won't be able to do anything.
But I mean, at this point, DeMusliM's abandoning the top of his main. And SjoW, wow, he's actually floating his orbital command to his natural. He's just going to try to see if he can do this 1 base at a time. Looks like he's moving in here, though, and looks like his tanks are trying to siege offensively, but I don't know if he has enough. There's 3 tanks here. SjoW does finally have his 3rd tank meet up, but you could tell right now DeMusliM
here we go in the top right-hand position. That natural is being cleaned up. The command center is his only command center out in the field. I don't even think he has any... No, he has no SCVs. So income tab showing 0, nada, nothing. And ladies and gentlemen, DeMusliM just takes a gigantic advantage in this game. Now it's all up to SjoW. Whether or not he can win with 3 siege tanks. And
this is going to be tough. It would be the absolute miraculous comeback here from SjoW because he's just at very, very poor odds indeed. And it looks like DeMusliM's going to stim forward here. SjoW is being revealed. The last of the units are being cleaned up here. And good game. Well played. DeMusliM takes the game and the series.
Very nicely played by DeMusliM. You can see that he knew where his advantage was. But SjoW, I got to hand it to him. Hanging in there. He was behind by so much. He was able to do a lot of damage. And I feel like lesser players that don't know their advantage and don't know actually how to deal with that type of pressure would fall, wouldn't do that counter drop, and ultimately win the game.
Absolutely. So we actually have a surprise. Actually, it's not really a surprise because we did it once before. But we have an interview with DeMusliM. But it's going to be after commercial break. We first want to thank our sponsor, Azo, for providing these beautiful monitors, as you can see by a nice logo there. Azo, thank you so much. In fact, if you buy, I believe, if you go to their website and use the coupon, you get 25% off. That's what Andre told me. And if I'm wrong, just yell at him.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for the esports dog. Oh, I see him right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we actually have an esports dog, NASL Chance. Why don't we go ahead and look at him? Hey, Chance, go look at the camera. There he is. That is NASL_Chance on Twitter. Now, if we get to 10,000 people on the stream, we will actually give an autographed picture of NASL Chance.
Yeah, he's going to paw it.
That's what my producers just handed to me in the middle of that game. They're like, hey, NASL Chance. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be a paw print.
It's going to be a paw print.
It's going to be like Blue's Clues. I can actually sing that whole song.
Chance Clues.
Chance Clues. Ladies and gentlemen, 10K, and you can win yourself an NASL Chance autographed picture. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into a break, and when we come back, an interview with EG DeMusliM will be coming up after this.